That, to me, is a beautiful sight. I haven't had the top of my work area that clean in a long, long time. There's always been a fence there or my LS positioner, but now that I've got these shop projects that you've seen in previous videos done where I moved my clamp rack and got my extrusions hung up, I just finished doing this project here as well. You can see it in the background there, but that is going to be one of my favorite additions to my shop, is that rack to hold my LS positioner when it's not in use. And it just it turned out great. I'm really pleased with that, and I think anybody that owns one of these things, to have a place to store it is a good thing, and this for me is perfect. So all it is just a shelf with a couple of 45-degree brackets up there, and I'll show you some close-ups here in a minute on how I made it. But it turned out terrific, and I'm really pleased with it. So let me show you how easy it is for me to use this thing. So when I'm getting ready to use it, all I need to do is loosen one side here, grab this in the middle, loosen the other one, slide it off, bring it over to the table. Slide it into my tracks, mount it, get these out of the way, and then tighten it down and go to work. Then obviously when I'm done, I'm going to reverse that process. But before I do that, I'm going to put one of these in the track here. I'm going to loosen it up even more. And then when I go to slide that in there, I'll get this one loosened up a little bit more as well. Tighten up the knobs, and it's up and out of the way. The one thing that you want to make sure that you do here is make sure that you have this thing locked at all times, because if you lift it off your table or whatever you're doing and it's in the unlocked position, that thing is going to drop to the floor. So that's the only precaution that you have to have. Now the other thing I benefited from here is creating this shelf here, which allows me to store my micro positioner. I gotta go this way. And my Pro Scope. Now I have these in my drawer. This was in my one of my shop drawers here, but this is a much better place for it because I can just reach forward and put it on my fence rail and be ready to go. And then the Pro Scope, I don't know why I put it up there, but I just did. Here's still. So that's my shelf. Let me give you a little closer view of how this is put together so you can build one for yourself. So here you can see the shelf itself. It's a little over 4 inches wide because I faced it off with some hard maple. But I cut a slot slightly larger than 5/16 to accept this toilet bowl bolt, and these are 3 3/4 of an inch deep. They don't have to be that deep, I guess, but that's just the way I made mine. The shelf itself is 42 inches long, which is the length of my extrusion. But you can see here with these flange bolts, toilet flange bolts, I got a washer there too. That's what's slipping into that slot, and then into the extrusion slot as well. Tighten that up, and you've got a good positive lock there to keep that from sliding and from dropping, obviously. 45-degree brackets. This is just you know, 1.125 or 1.25 1.125 square maple that I had laying around. One screw going into the stud, 2 screws coming up from the bottom to hold this together. There's no glue there. If I ever wanted to take it apart, I wanted the ability to do that. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So 2 slots, mirror images. They're positioned where your extrusion slot is, obviously. And I have my THK bearing rail on here, which makes it a little heavier, but I have some jigs that I like to use with my positioner that I made. So I really like the way this thing turned out. So there you have it. LS positioner rack. Made it out of basically nothing more than scrap stuff I had laying around. If you own one of these, this is really, for me, the only way to store it and keep it up out of the way and safe. And one thing I forgot to mention is that, you know, I'm using my own piece of extrusion here for my fence, piece of 4080, but because I have this THK bearing rail attached to it. But if you're using the fence that came with it, this would still work, because you still have that slot here to attach, you know, to put whatever kind of bolt in there. I don't know what, I think you have to use 1/4-inch bolts on this one, but whatever bolt you could that slides in that slot for the standard fence that comes with the LS positioner, you could still use this setup. You just have to scale it down a little bit is all. And it would still be a nice addition to your shop. So one more time, I guess. Thanks for watching.